I spin in circles, I scream to the void. I'm born in oasis, my rage is employed. A storm in my chest, it burns and destroys. Dance with the chaos, spin till you fall. It burns and screeches the end of it all. Round and round until we crawl. This is the inferno, the Poke Brawl.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Your lies are balloons, they pop in my face. I'll stop on the floor, leave no empty space. A carnival riot, no room for disgrace. Buttons clicking, hearts are ticking. Heads are flying, skies are splitting. Dance with the chaos, spin till you fall. A bird and screeches the end of it all. Round and round until we crawl. This is the inferno, the Poke Brawl. The tuba's a demon, the snare drum's a beast. The accordion's fury will never be ceased. This is a battle, a musical feast. A polka goes harder than hell's unleashed.
Yo. What's going on, everybody? Space and Rocket Review. My computer blue screened. So, yeah, great. How are you doing? Everything good? Pouring out for NZXT Camp. Gone but not forgotten. £5 super chat. Yeah, I uninstalled it. My monitoring software crashed my computer. Because it tried to access something that Windows didn't like, and it didn't have permissions, and it tried to escalate the permissions, and before Windows knew what was going on, it said, nope, not doing that. So, yeah. I can't freaking win, man. Can't freaking win, dudes. I don't know. I'm trying to get more back into a routine of giving you guys the content every day. You know, getting a nice routine, you know, Kerbal, and trying to get back to it. Trying to get back to it. And it's not working. It's not me either. Every time I try to settle into a nice routine and get you guys 50 hours of content a week, like what I promise, it never happens. And I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. Like, just What a week, and it's only Tuesday. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Electron, I know what you mean. It should make you feel better. Remember, the Patriots beat the Bills and the Yankees lost. Well, the Yankees are going to play again in a second, but yeah, dudes, I'm sorry. It just seems like it happens more and more frequently, dude. I don't know. I recall during the pandemic, and even before that, we could just belt out stuff. We never had problems. Never had problems with nothing. Just seems like it's gotten really bad in the last 2 to 3 months. But it's all right. We'll be fine. Everything's fine. Had a nice trip to Zinch Library? What does that mean? Yeah, I don't understand that reference. Don't worry, if you keep streaming, I'll keep you updated on the Yankees. The Yankees, yay score. Yeah. The Dolphins pulled defeat from the jaws of victory, so also that's nice. Fluffy, you guys are getting to Jets level. Where I'm just like, okay. Okay. Is NASA not being affected by the government shutdown? It depends on the programs, one man. Yeah. Oh, it's a 40K reference. Nice. There you go. There you go. The Brewers will sweep the Cubs. Change your mind. What's the score of the... Oh. Oh. That game was tied when I shut it off yesterday. Oh. Here's EJ's hot take about baseball. I don't think any of the American League teams are going to win. It's the Brewers or the Dodgers, man. If an American League team wins the World Series, I will be very impressed. I think the Brewers might have it. I think they're too good. But then again, they got to play against the freaking Avengers of baseball teams. So, we'll see. Martin, thank you for the 14-month resub. It's good stuff. Hey Pat, what's going on? Guys, I don't have any space news links prepared. Starship's gonna fly on the 13th, so we're looking at about a week. Toronto has been wild. I think Toronto is the AL's best chance. I keep just playing it out of my head. Detroit's playing the Mariners right now, and they're both good teams, but I think Toronto could beat both of them. The AL and NL don't mean crap anymore now that the DH rule is universal. Yeah, I know what you mean. You think the Tigers are going to pull it out roundabout? Okay. The booster's moving out tomorrow around noon local, according to NSF Actual. Cool. We could talk about how SpaceX got 4 Falcon Heavy flights from the DoD. Nice. Yeah. The time I usually take to collect up some space news links, I was trying to figure out what went wrong. With my computer blue screening, but I think I got it. Gonna get in on the Black Ops beta. Call of Duty, John? Really? Nah, I hadn't. I have no interest in doing that.
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
We have a baseball signed by the entire 2001 Mariners team. You're diamond handsing it? There you go. There you go. What's happened to your PC anyway? I'm out of the loop. So that particular error was caused by NZXT Cam. Cam is the monitoring software that I use to monitor PC temperatures and stuff. It tried to access a Windows file that has a vulnerability in it, a known vulnerability, and I think Windows just said hell nah, and that crashed the computer. At least that's what the event viewer is saying. How old is that Ford cap? At least 5. Intuitive Machines has been appraised at CMMI Maturity Level 3 for software development, validating our processes meets NASA's Class A human spaceflight standards. This milestone highlights our disciplined engineering and commitment to delivering dependable, high-performance solutions like lunar terrain vehicle services. Intuitive Machines. Was at the NSF meetup, and Das showed some pictures of you and him at the Parker Solar launch. That was really cool. Oh yeah? I was wondering if I would get mentioned over there. That's pretty neat, man. Which ones did he show? Did he show this one? I definitely did. Oh geez. Aqualex said, I don't want to talk about it. You probably that I get like stressed out just reading that statement, man. Any opinions on European Starship project? Set Maze, it's not a good opinion, to be honest with you. Is that Falcon 1 heavy? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that, Das and I went down there for the Falcon Heavy test flight, and Parker Solar was in the hangar at the time. It was in the Delta Horizontal Integration Facility. And, yeah, the ULA was like, yo, come over here, check out Parker Solar. And we're like, they're like, yeah, come check it out. And I'm like, we're like, all right. It was a close up of y'all outside along a fence before launch, like Das streaming launches on Twitch still. Oh, that was the Falcon Heavy footage. Yeah. Oh, that footage. Um, yeah, that's yeah. You want a really dope reusable starship on top of reusable Ariane 7. What? That's not what I heard, Set Maze. I heard that Avio has the contract for a reusable upper stage that they're going to try to launch in 2027. It is totally not a Starship ripoff. And Avio's going to launch it. You know, Avio, the company that has a lot of experience in building liquid fuel engines. With a solid first stage. Yeah, Avio, you know, the company that has a lot of great experience with that. Hey, Jake, welcome to the Flight Controllers. Thank you for the membership, dude. It was recorded and streamed for Membies. They Membies streamed a meetup? Huh. I mean, that time you displayed righteous enthusiasm? Yeah. Why wouldn't isn't aren't you just Memby streaming a Memby stream to Membys by doing a meetup? Huh. Hey, whatever. Whatever, if that's what they want to do. Linus Tech Tips had a rant about member-only videos today. It was only a presentation in Q&A, but yeah. Huh. It was for the Membys who couldn't make it to the Memby meetup, mainly. I got you. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah. I mean, I hope that did anybody here go to that? I have too much going on because I have too much going on. Yeah, Fluffy, it's such a gut punch, dude. This week has been a week of ups and downs already, and it's only Tuesday. Did you have a nice Monday off? No. No, it was awful. Brimo's car broke. It broke down going 80 miles an hour down the highway. It blew a transmission cooler line going down the highway. I lost valve train pressure, or valve body pressure in the transmission, and had to pull over on the side of the road, on the side of the highway, and call the towing company to tow the stupid car back to my house. Yesterday, that was on Sunday. I didn't have time to diagnose it on Sunday because I had to be somewhere. I was already we decided to leave early, and that proved to be fortuitous because I had the tow truck driver drop the car on the gravel driveway on the side of my house. We have a paved driveway and some gravel, right? And I had him drop it in the gravel. I didn't even think about it. I got in the Mustang. We drove. We got to where we needed to be on time. Good. Monday morning rolls around. I go get the Fusion up on jack stands. The jack stands are on plywood because you can't jack anything up on gravel. So there's a sheet of plywood under there. The jack stands are sitting on the sheet of plywood. Roll a blanket underneath it, thinking I'm being like, oh, all right, I don't want to roll around in the gravel. I'm going and trying to figure out what's going on with it. And I have my phone in my pocket, and I roll over and crush it between the gravel and my jeans. Yeah.
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
Flavy, gifted 5. Yep. So that's how my day went yesterday. Not just crack the screen. I had an iPhone 8, and it has the button. A rock went through the button and cracked the button, so the phone is inoperable. Great. So, to save money, me and my folks...
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
Thanks, friend. Give this up a while. To save money, me and my folks are on the same plan. So I went up. I had to drive up there, and I had to go get my phone updated. And because of traffic, I didn't get home till late last night. That's how I knew when my phone shattered into a bajillion pieces, right before when the stream was supposed to start, that I'm not going to be back for a little while. That's why I canceled the stream yesterday. So did I have a good Monday off? No, it wasn't a Monday off. I was working the entire time. No parts store has those AT cooler lines, and I don't want to jimmy something on it because it's the daily driver. I need that car to work. I could jimmy something up to make the line pressurize with some hose clamps and stuff. So I ordered the part from Ford. It's not coming in until tomorrow. So tomorrow,
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
I have to drive to the dealership, get the part that I need, and install it. Just to get my stupid car working. Quiet shenanigans. My wife and I are in our 40s and have a share plane with my folks too. Hey, I do that to save cash, man. Hey, Meat Snack gifted 5 subs. Thanks, guys. Yeah, thank you. No, it's a 2020 Fusion. I can't see me. We'll be fine, dude. We'll be fine. Yeah. Yeah, we'll play BF6. But, guys, the Fusion's inoperable. I can't move it up here. I can't move it up here. I have to work on the thing. So you're saying a braided line with a big aftermarket cooler is out of the cards. Do you want to get at the transmission cooler that's underneath the cowl, underneath God knows what else, in front of the radiator? No. Nope. Up a geek on a plane. Nah, no need, Ewok. Ewok, just be careful with transmission fluid in that car. Just careful. Yeah. There's a lot jammed into that area on Fusions. Yeah, Bill, it's a Fusion SE 2.0 turbo, all-wheel drive. So there's a lot. You're not kidding. There is a lot jammed in there. Bill, you ever hear anything happening like that? I sheared a line off. I've never seen an AT cooler line shear off. I've never seen that happen. Geek's already on it. You're at 140K. Oh, all right. You good. Are you going to keep the stream on until the Starlink launch tonight? Unlikely. Yes, it happens with no warning. Really? Yeah, that's what happened, dude. I was trying to pass somebody on the highway. I accelerated, transmission kicked down, jolted the entire car, lost valve body pressure right after that. Left a nice puddle on the side of the highway. It's great. Great. Here, you guys want to see a picture? I'll show you. So this picture is looking up into the car. So it's hard to see it, but right there. See, this is supposed to be connected to that. See that? And it's sheared off, like somebody hit it with a hammer and it sheared off. Bill, is that what you've seen? I know that's hard to see. There's your plastic retainer clip up there. That's the compression fitting. That's the crimp fitting. Crimp fitting is supposed to crimp to a pipe, and the pipe's supposed to go into that compression fitting, and it's sheared off. It's supposed to be right there. Those are supposed to be lined up. Vibratory shear? No. It looks like a clean break from what I can tell, and that jives with what happened when I was going down the highway. Yeah, I got a new phone though. Yeah, see, 17 Pro. Nice. It's a nice phone. I don't care about it's just a phone. I just need a phone. That's all. Well, it was during the kickdown, Clayton. So yeah, there's probably a pressure spike. Yeah. No case? No. Dude, psychopaths have no cases on their phones. Like, I don't get it. Well, I just keep it in my pocket. Dude, you're crazy. Is it Bitcoin orange? No. No, it's a Pro. It's just black. It looks like the crimp failed. Yeah, dude. I mean, Bill, if you say that happens, I believe you, dude. Yes, 6-speed F-150 cooler lines do the same thing. Okay. Rust? No, it ain't rust. That doesn't look like it's fun to get to. No, fortunately, there's there's down pipes, and the compression fitting on the down pipes from the actual heat exchanger for the oil cooler is okay. I definitely know someone that is probably close to being a psychopath, and he indeed doesn't have a case. Man. Yeah. And Bill, those stupid transmission cooler line, the cooler is on top of the damn transmission. There's a cooler and a heat exchanger. The heat exchanger's up at the radiator. There's two lines that go out. They go down to two compression fittings. That's where it snapped. The compression fittings go underneath the damn transmission, go up and over and into the cooler. So the actual heat exchanger for the cooler is right here, and the cooler itself is right here. And instead of the lines going, they go down underneath the transmission all the way up and around. You think I'm kidding? Here, I'll show you the part. I have the diagram for the part.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Yep. Down, up, and around. Because, you know. Pat, you just changed your sub to 6 months. Thank you. Cheer up. No. I'm just kind of bitching, I guess. Anyway, yeah. That's the part. It's just yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's the guy. That's great. Lovely. Yep, there's the two retainers. That's the exact piece. Lovely. That's fine. Fine. Any after hours tonight? I don't know, man. Tacoma water pump diagram? What do you mean?
Discovery, go at throttle up.
That's nothing futz. Well, yeah, the air box and the transmission fill and the shifter control is in the way, to be fair. But also, engineers know they'll never have to work on it yet. I have OE parts diagrams if you need one. Just need the VIN on this application. Yeah, Bill, that would actually be quite useful. If you want to shoot me a text, I'm pretty sure you still have my number. Do you? My number hasn't changed, so shoot me a text. I could definitely use it. Ford engineers must have I'm not repeating that, but yes. It's 675-309. So yeah. There was a Starlink launch over the weekend. There's a Starlink launch a little later tonight. We have Starship teed up on the 13th. That's next Monday. Oh, God. Jeez, Jaeger. Yeah, Loco for sure. Oh, also, check this out, guys. So the Liebherr 11 or the Liebherr 13,000 parts for the look at the track mechanism, dude. Parts for the Liebherr 13,000 have arrived at the Cape. It's almost as good as the person that decided to put the starter inside the bell housing. Dude, I don't understand why people are the way that they are. I don't get it. So that Libre 13,000, guys, is what they're going to use to put the OLM on the 39A pad. So think about how long ago they put the OLM on that pad at Boca Chica. And the crane's already there to move the OLM to 39A. I'm telling you, the rate of progression at the 39A pad is very, 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 very quick. It's quicker than a lot of people think. Why a 13K instead of an 11K this time? Probably because they didn't like the 11K, probably like the 13K in this application. And it can lift it by itself. Yeah, it doesn't need 2 cranes. I know the guy that took those pictures. Yeah, I know. Because it's 2 more K, obviously. Yeah. Yeah, they're only going to need 1 crane. Yep. That's actually insane. Libre 13,000s are not small pieces of equipment. They are in fact quite large. The Lego Libre 13,000 set looks sweet. Fluffy, I was thinking about at one point. I don't have no money right now. I was thinking about at one point buying that for educational purposes. You know, for educational purposes. You know, for educational purposes. That's a good idea. Tax write-off. Yeah, taxes. That's yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's those. Those are good. That's great. Speaking of taxes, did your stuff ever get fixed? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Yarg. They did. My accountant, the guy that was doing my taxes at the accounting firm that I use, screwed up and wrote off way too much. Instead of writing off, I'm not going to say the specifics. I'll just give you an example. We write off a portion of the mortgage because I work from home. The garage is my business, right? So we write off a percentage of mortgage proportional to square footage because I work from home. The guy wrote off the entire mortgage, or did the equivalent of writing off the entire mortgage. Once again, that's not what happened. I'm just making it up. But he wrote off way more than he should have, and yeah, we ended up owing money. Great. Yeah, the mortgage thing is just an example. That actually didn't happen that way, but a bunch of stuff like that. So I had a little chit chat with the owner of the accounting firm. I had a little chit chat. My taxes are fixed. They're fine. Except they didn't pull from the right account. The federal tax check bounced. Don't worry, fix that problem over the weekend. Adulting. This isn't even what's pissing me off. Like there's so much stuff, dude. Like adulting. Hey, all right. So late to start the stream tomorrow for Fusion Regions? No, I'll probably be here on time. Yeah, and I just finished them just in time to start collecting the receipts for this year. Great. Not an Italian style chit chat. I had some choice words for that guy. Needless to say, charges for this year for services rendered have been waived. So that's good. Lego is retiring that crane set soon. Yeah, because $800 for a toy is a little ridiculous. Yeah, the guy that was doing my accountant, in the owner's words, has parted ways with the company. Those were his words. So, yeah. Yeah, Yarg, everything's fixed. Just in time to pay taxes again. Lovely. So, yeah, no, it's been a stressful couple of months for you, boy, dude. I usually don't I usually don't I usually don't have this much stuff go wrong. Are you still using checks for tax payments? I said the check bounced, but it was the withdrawal, dude. Yeah, it's squared away, dude. I got everything squared away on Saturday, and then the car exploded on Sunday. Does this happen to other people? I know the answer is yes, but gosh dang, dude. I just said it already, dudes. The Fusion a transmission cooler line on the Fusion just decided to liberate itself from the vehicle driving down the highway on Sunday. Yeah. You need pressure in the transmission for the valve body to work correctly. So, it's just driving down the road. It's Route 154 all over again, man. The Fusion Yard. My newest and most babied car. I have all these piles of snot lying around my house. All these piece of junk old cars, and they all work. They all work just fine. I drove the 97 100 miles the other day to go get an air conditioner for this place. In a freaking monsoon. It was fine. It doesn't care. This new car from 2020, that's 5 years old with 46,000 miles on it, decided to kick the bucket going down the road. RC Tid, what's up, man? Just got off work? Nice. Oh, nice, Geek. There you go. So, yeah, the newest car that I take really good care of. Yeah, that popped. Don't worry, I managed to save the engine and transmission. I think I gotta get the new line in there, top off the transmission, because all of the transmission fluid from that car is now sitting on the side of the road on the highway, about 20 miles from my house. So I gotta get new that, and if it was any other occasion, I would probably get a new filter too. But I think it's a sealed transmission. I don't think there's a filter. Does it have a dipstick? Nope. It has a fill port, and that's it. If it's a 2.0 EcoBoost, it should be this one. Let me see, Bill. That, let's take a look. Sorry, I didn't really have much space news prepared, guys, because my computer exploded. Don't worry, I fixed it. Jesus, damn dancing Christ. It's this one. This fitting broke right here. That one. So there's a crimp on. There's a crimp right here onto a hard line with a compression fitting, and it's retained by that plastic clip on that hard line right there. That hard line is not damaged. It's this thing. This thing broke right at the sleeve. Bill, thank you for this. That's super freaking helpful. It broke right there. See that flange right there? It snapped off. Snapped off like someone hit it with a hammer. The compression fitting here is plastic. The crimp on the hose is metal. The tube that's in there, if you notice there's a tube in the center right there, the tube is also metal. And then there's an O-ring that holds up against the compression fitting. So yeah, this piece right here, I got a new one of those because it's a hardline thing and it's sold as a set, which sucks. But no, and didn't get hit by debris or anything, dude. Very strange. Didn't get hit by debris. No, the fairing is underneath the car. I take really good care of it. Everything under there is not even rusty. It just snapped. I'm sure that line was cheap. Yep. The engine runs, the car does not move, Vaxock. And I broke my phone yesterday trying to figure out that. I got a new one, though. That's why I didn't stream yesterday, dude. I'm going to have to buy the special dipstick to read proper level. Yeah, I don't know, dude. The service manual says just fill it up. Fill it up when the transmission is warm and in neutral. And if you like the filler is like a sight thing. It's like you can look down into it, and when you start seeing transmission fluid, it's good. I'm going to guess bad crimping job, Clayton. That's probably my guess. Sounds like you're having a good day. Oh, yeah, dude. Well, Vaxock, the interesting thing is that this right here, see the thicker part of the line? That's rubber. It's rubber hose to allow for flex, which makes it even weirder. This is supposed to flex. It didn't flex and cracked. Oh, yeah, yeah, I'll have to. Yeah, probably. But yeah, there's like I said, there's a cooling element right here. There's a heat exchanger, right? And the heat exchanger goes, has two lines that go down here. This right here, 7H322, is your transmission cooler control valve. And that goes down into two more hard lines that crimp into this. Is it 3/8? No, it's bigger than that. And then the cooling element is actually right there. So that's the heat exchanger, and then the cooler is actually over here. It's on the top of the back of the transmission, and the lines go up and over. (7H322) is a thermostat that doesn't open until the transmission is up to temp. The factory manual called it a control valve. Yeah. Yeah. Blech. Good times. I will not take stuff to a dealership. No. From my experience, that's not the proper way of filling transmission. If you overfill it, it will puke out the vent. Fine, as long as the car works, dude. You're absolutely right, 619. The Fusion's still under warranty. It's got 46,600 miles on it, Yard. The warranty ended at 45. I hate new cars. I hate them a lot. A lot. I hate new cars. If you ever wonder why EJ goes on rants about why EJ doesn't like new cars, there's your reason. Such bull crap. Yeah, we called and the dealer was like, "Ha, no." I'm like, I hate new cars. I hate them so much. But whatever. We'll work on it. We fix it. It's good. Any other space news you guys have? Maybe stop buying Ford. Yeah, let's not pretend like every car is like this. Engineer down to a price, not up to a standard. That's a good way to put that, heavy metal. Hell yeah. I mean, not, but you know what I mean. Firefly is going to try and get into the satellite business for national security like Rocket Lab. This company does all the data processing for defense satellites. Firefly. Firefly is actually being investigated by the Securities Exchange Commission for blowing up that stage. So that's good. Yeah, nice, Elfish. Yep, yep. I agree, Jaeger. Yeah, Trevor, perhaps. Either way, I'll fix it, guys. Like, once again, I've been trying not to bitch as much about things on stream, because you don't come here to hear that. But I also believe in being truthful with what's going on and why I'm late to streams. So here we are. What's the accusation? That they did it on purpose? I only saw it for a second and then I got back to doing whatever I was doing. Here, let me go find it. I mean, it's probably bullcrap, dude, but yeah, somebody's going after them for fraud because the stage blowing up or something. It's something dumb. You're late because you hate us, yeah. Same story with Astra and all that. People don't know what they're investing in. Yeah. Yeah. It'll probably get thrown out, but it's, yeah, pretty dumb. Here, hold on. I'm going to be huge over here. Just take a picture of my, take a picture of that diagram. Hey, all right. It's a law firm that's investigating. Yep. I sent you a video. I sent you a diagram. So what's this new Firefly thing here? Bill, what do you got? So Firefly Aerospace announced a strategic acquisition of SciTech to advance national security capabilities. The acquisition of SciTech, okay, so the market leader of the space has entered into a definitive agreement to acquire SciTech Incorporated, a leader in advanced national security technologies, for approximately $855 million through a combination of $300 million in cash and $555 million in Firefly shares issued to SciTech owners at a price of $50 per share. Man, somebody got paid. Damn. Wow. 555 million in shares is now that, yeah. Doubled their money. That's awesome. Yeah, ship watching. Why do I feel like Firefly is expanding way too fast? They are doing a moon program, also developing the Eclipse rocket, and now this. Something something fiduciary responsibility, something something. Think of the shareholders, something something. Yeah, dude, don't, not in here, man. Don't do that to me. Diversify like Rocket Lab, something, something. Yep. The acquisition of SciTech enhances our ability to support a growing number of defense missions and provides us with a significant operational advantage. SciTech's mission-proven software and big data processing capabilities provide warfighters with rapid and accurate information to enable informed decisions that protect our homeland from emerging threats. Okay. The acquisition will advance Firefly's comprehensive space services. Yeah, okay. So everybody's trying, every aerospace company, like the startup new space aerospace companies, are all trying to diversify. They're trying to diversify their incomes. interestingly enough. How many buzzwords can we fit in here? Yeah, I know. High-Tech generated revenues of approximately $164 million for a 12-month period ending on June 30th, 2025, driven by robust contracts supporting the intelligence community, defense and national security agencies, and commercial customers. Earlier this year, High-Tech was awarded a $259 million contract by the U.S. Space Force to further enhance the future operational resilient ground evolution. FORGE. Acronyms. The Forge framework. High-Tech is delivering a scalable, cyber-secure ground processing capability to strengthen the Space Force's missile warning and tracking mission and accelerate threat-responsive solutions for warfighters. Okay. ABM Command and Control. Yeah, I've never heard of this company before. They're headquartered in Princeton, New Jersey, and maintains 5 additional facilities strategically positioned near key space and defense customers. The acquisition is expected to close by the end of the year. Interesting. Forge was originally a Raytheon program. You believe in Space Force took it away and gave it to High-Tech. Interesting. Huh. This is one of those companies you aren't really ever supposed to hear about. What, like Booz Allen Hamilton or something? Or Andrew? Like that? Those kind of companies? Bah! More secretive. More secretive than that. How many people just Googled Booz Allen Hamilton? Don't lie. Did you Google it? Aerospace Corporation? Yeah. Yeah, Vaxlock, maybe that happened, dude. Something made that hose upset, and that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried that fixing the hose isn't going to fix whatever caused that problem, but I have to get the car operable to figure out what's wrong. Zonko, yeah, Zonko, I figure you would know. Sure did. We have too many acronyms. All right, I'm looking around for any more space news. I've also very, very recently figured out that baseball Twitter is unhinged, and it's quite funny actually. Did your rotor rocket work well in KSP? I don't know. It blue screened before. It blue screened before I could really kind of finish what I was trying to do. Yeah, it kind of worked. Yeah, no, it's a great hat, Pantsa. Yeah. Bro, Twitter's on it. Baseball Twitter is kind of nuts, dude. It's really funny. It's just really mad Yankees and Red Sox fans just yelling at each other. It's really good. Really funny, actually. Good time. Great entertainment. Falcon Heavy got a nice contract. We got a contract, yeah, for 4 Falcon Heavies, huh? NASCAR Twitter is psychotic. I know about NASCAR Twitter. Yeah. NASCAR Twitter is a good time. But yeah, baseball Twitter is crazy. My feed is just full of really, really annoyed Yankees fans that were not annoyed last week, but are really annoyed now. That's pretty funny, man. Sorry, guys. What is your favorite Chevy truck or car? Favorite Chevy truck or car? Are we talking about Chevrolet or like GM in general? 4i Atlas is currently flying by Mart. Isn't it 3i Atlas? The Yankees loot, yeah. I like a 73 C10. That's a nice truck. I like the 73s. 69 Camaros are really cool. 70 Chevelles are really nice. I don't know. C3 Corvettes are pretty cool too. DC302 car, please. I need to find one, dude, and then I need to build the motor. I had those damn 202 heads. I sold them because I knew what they were, but I was like, I don't need this. 96 Impala. Ah. Common, you have good taste. That is a nice car. The bubble top. Nice car. I like Camaros, the third gen Camaros from what is it? 82 to 93. I like third gens. Third gens are I like those cars. Those cars are cool. Actually, you know what Chevy I would really drive a lot? Here. These are insanely well-built vehicles for the time. You either know or you don't. Here, let me just find a good picture. Yeah, 85 Caprice. That was a well-built car for the time. 2017 SS. That is a Chevy I would drive. Absolutely. Of course you like that. I would drive the heck out of one of those. Those are really nice cars, man. I'm telling you. I'm saying that as a Ford guy. They're very, very well made. I love Caprices from the 80s, dude. Donk build when? I have no interest in donking something. What I'm really about, and this is kind of an offshoot of what I just said, is this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at it. Oh, that's cool. That's neat. With the crappy wooden trim on it. Yes. Yeah, that's really what I'm about. I would really, really like, this is in the future, guys. I would really like to find one of those and put an LS in it. Not anything crazy, just a 5.3 and just make the ultimate, like, just the best daily driver of all time. Like, just the best daily driver. And, like, drive that car anywhere. The one Vice Grip pulled out of his garage is mint. I'm bummed that he sold that car. That was one of my favorite roadworthy rescue builds. I'm bummed that he got rid of it. KPO3 rollout. Oh, cool. Space news. Excellent. So this is KFO3. There's different designations for Project Kuiper launches that launch on Falcon 9 versus Atlas 5. Optionally available with the 120 horsepower 5.7 non-turbo diesel. Oh, God. No. I don't want that. Actually, I just thought of a really good build. I just thought of a really, really good build. Take that 85 Caprice wagon, okay? We find that an 06 Chevy Trailblazer SS with a 4.2 Vortec. And, you know, we make an all-wheel drive wagon out of Chevy parts. You know. You know, McDonnell Douglas had plans for a staggered wing F. What? No. 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 Otter, I do a lot of dumb things on this stream. I do a lot of dumb things on this stream. And you always sit there. You always sit there in the chat peanut gallery going, EJ, EJ, EJ. With all that being said, why the frick did you link me this? Mutter, what are you doing? What are you, why? Why would you take something as nice as an F-15 and ruin it by doing that? It fly good. What problem is that thing trying to solve? I don't know. That's a Berkut Jaeger. Yeah, that's nice. No, that's so that's an F-15 with what's called an oblique wing, guys.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
To put it in layman's terms, NASA did a study into an oblique wing design and basically figured out that, look, as long as you have more or less equal surface area on either side of the plane of wing, it doesn't really matter where you put them. I'm serious. Yeah, they tested it with NASA 805 here. That's the oblique wing. Yeah. So this thing was a towable glider, right? And then when it was gliding, they could move the wing backwards. NASA figured that out in the 80s, that it doesn't, the wing shape doesn't like really matter as long as you have equal wing surface area, like you're generating lift on equal amounts of lift on either side, you can really make the wing shape whatever the hell you want. Analytical wind tunnel studies that Robert Jones initiated at Ames indicated that a transport-sized oblique wing aircraft flying at speeds of up to Mach 1.4 would have substantially better aerodynamic performance than aircraft with more conventional wings. At high speeds, both subsonic and supersonic, the wing would be pivoted up to 60 degrees to the aircraft's fuselage for better high-speed performance. The study showed that these angles would decrease aerodynamic drag, permitting increased speed and longer range with the same fuel expenditure. At lower speed during takeoffs and landings, the wings is perpendicular. I just read right off a wiki, dude. Oh, dude, look at Balls 8 back there. Sick. Yeah, guys, I don't really have a better way to say it. They figured out that you could just make the wing any shape you want. Do you understand aura farming? Yeah, it's going on right here. Yeah. It's an oblique wing Zenit flyback booster for an Egea would be sick. I just came up with the most cursed thing. Based off of what you said, Conan. No. No. You could do an oblique wing in Kerbal. It's possible. You could do it like here. So this is your rocket booster, right? Your engines are back here, right? And then you have your interstage up there, etc., etc. Just please excuse the crudity of this drawing. I didn't have time to build it to scale it to paint it. If we're looking at the top, this is a top view, right? You have a pivoting point. So the center of mass of the booster is usually like right around here because of the engines, right? The engines are super heavy. So when the thing's full, when the thing's as an empty tank of gas, the fuel's back here somewhere. So, or the center of mass is back here when the fuel is drained. So you could put a pivot point on the center of mass, right? And in the past, what Energia did was have two really long wings here that actually moved out like this, right? So it kind of was a scissor. They kind of went like this. What you could do is do an oblique wing design and have the wing go this way, be super short and skinny, and the wing going this way be nice and big. So when the wing actually goes to pivot in place, it looks something like this. And then you have aileron control out here, right? And yeah, then you just fly it. You could have a smaller aileron right there. Yeah, that'd work. It'd work in KSV. You could get that to work as long as you balance the center of lift correctly, which is that is basically the that's basically the whole idea behind an oblique wing. Doesn't matter the shape, doesn't matter the size, it doesn't matter what it is. As long as your center of lift is lined up on your center of mass on the center line of the vehicle, it doesn't matter. No, it's a sailboat. You watch Dragon Ball, right? I watched Dragon Ball before you were born, dude. You'd have asymmetric drag on that, but as long as you're taking that into account, it should be fine. You could use the ailerons to trim it out, dude. Cursed as hell. Yeah, dude, it's pretty unhinged. But it isn't because it hinges. Build it. Off topic, found a double. Brrr. We should never get rid of A10s. Ever. We should never get rid of A10s. Ever. Also, the Navy and Commander-in-Chief want to bring back battleships. Regardless of political opinion, I want battleships. Do I know anything about being an admiral or a naval commander or anything? Hell no. I just want battleships. Yeah, just, I mean, is that fair? Are battleships obsolete? We want new battleships. Leave the Iowas alone. Yes. Yes. Cursed as hell. I love it. Yeah. Dude, I don't know enough about naval combat tactics. I should probably go read The Fighting Sailor by Jack Ryan. It's about Admiral Halsey's naval combat tactics. It's a great book. You should read it. The A-10 is too expensive to maintain and triple an anti-aircraft defense has greatly changed. Look at Current battles. Yeah, one man. I don't care. It cuts tanks in half. I like that. I think that's really neat. You can't want new battleships and say leave the old ones alone. That's like saying bring back the space shuttle, but leave the old ones. RJ, if someone was going to resurrect the space shuttle program right now, if like say I hit the ultimate Powerball and I had like $10 billion to spend, and I wanted to bring back the shuttle program, I would buy the IP from Boeing and then promptly make new orbiters. Yeah, make new ones. Yeah, I would Discovery, Atlantis, and Endeavor. No, that's the old stuff. We don't want that. We don't need that. Yeah, I know, goalie. It's awesome. Just make them so they could be disassembled. I understood that reference. Yeah. I'm surprised the Navy would be seriously looking into them. Yeah, there was a huge I mean, it was the 250th anniversary of the Navy. So yeah, it was talked about, but who knows how far that project is going to go. I would argue that in today's age, with littoral combat scenarios, like a heavy cruiser, something like a heavy cruiser with an 8-inch Cal 55 autoloader could like be a very cost-effective solution to shore bombardment. But what do I know? I'm an armchair general. I play too much Hearts of Iron. I heard a rumor that the A-10 is being retired, but they are planning on keeping more than several dozen in the desert for reasons. Yeah, we should just not retire it, you know. It feels like I'm playing Hearts right now. Would you change anything about the space shuttle in the modern form? I'd upgrade the silica-based tiles to tough rock and go from there. Not anymore. I miss Hearts of Iron. Okay. So the reason why battleships fell out of favor was engagements that were pushed out much further effective range than the guns. Looking at a battleship means someone up top thinks we're either about to get much faster guns or missiles will become significantly less effective. Yeah, Aqualex, I mean, you're not going to replace the Tomahawks. Okay, if I was going to seriously think about this from a straight systems engineering point of view, and I don't ever like doing this when it comes to like warfighters getting involved because they are people, not numbers, right? That's really kind of important. Shouldn't forget that. Look, if something goes down, my straight up question is, do we have enough Tomahawks? That's where I'm at. Do we have enough? I think it's an honest question. There is most likely a more cost-effective solution. Tomahawk missiles in the event of a hot conflict would, unless we have a factory full of tens of thousands of them or a warehouse full of tens of thousands of them somewhere, that could get very expensive very quickly. You know, bullets are easier to make, but you do risk the ship getting closer. You think we don't? I don't know. Maybe. I don't, if that's privileged information. If we do, then my entire thought process is irrelevant. Out of curiosity, how good are depleted uranium penetrators going hypersonic speeds? That'll do some damage. It hits so hard. So Seacracken, depleted uranium hits so hard it makes the uranium tipped round hit. It hits critical mass on impact and basically makes a little mini of nuclear fun. You could have shown that drones are more effective than most people thought. Doesn't make Tomahawks obsolete by any means, just much more mass producible. You know, everybody's talking about drones, guys, but I don't know. I've seen that footage. It's very interesting, but I mean, drones don't make a difference if you get a Hellfire missile up your ass from a Reaper. That's not gonna mean nothing. No, ain't nobody gonna shoot that thing down. And if you do, so what? What I'm saying is there are bigger drones to combat smaller drones. We're not gonna try to, if a conflict goes high, we ain't gonna try to take out the drones. We're gonna kill the drone operator. It's gotta be coming from somewhere, and I'm pretty sure we can find it. Yeah, Wisp, we should make more. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about naval combat tactics. I have no idea. You're asking the wrong guy. I know about spaceflight. With that being said, new battleships would be cool. That'd be pretty neat. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? It would be pretty neat. Ivan, you have a random military question. I'm probably not the right guy to ask, dude, but all right. You've seen those double large antennas some Lab 25s have. Are those only for communication or something else? It's probably something to do with situational awareness, Ivan, and that's a very vague answer, but yeah, I don't know what it does, but it probably has something to do with figuring out what's going on. EJ acted foolishly. Because the name of the game when fighting, just like spaceflight, this is a parallel. The name of the game is situational awareness. You have to know what's going on the battlefield. If you don't know what's going on the battlefield or on your spaceflight mission, you're opening up the door to, well, if it's the military, die. But in spaceflight, also die. It's just the manner of death by physics or by a bullet. You know what I mean? It's very much like spaceflight. That's how I know. It's the same idea. Spaceflight is a lot cooler, though, in my opinion. It's for very high frequency communications, yeah. Now, this is the future. Oh my gosh, what in the name? What in the world? Oh my god. Oh, dude, what the hell? That's freaking rad. What the hell? Several of that, but with drones. Yeah, drone carriers, man. Oh my god, that's awesome. That's so good. In the coming century. Yeah. That's pretty rad. Information and logistic. Unfortunately, the fighting is the easy part. Yep. Yep. Frick the Moon and Mars. I want Battlecruiser 2000. No. No, not Frick the Moon and Mars. I'd prefer the Moon and Mars. That is cool, though. Any update on the stupid request to chop up Discovery? It seems just like blowharding, dude. Yeah, it seems just like blowharding. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I will say this, Ivan. So no matter what happens, if they chopped up Discovery and somehow moved its carcass at that point to Texas and propped it up there and did something to it, Or if, it's just blowharding and nothing happens, I don't think history will be kind to the perpetrators of this. Let me say that. I don't think history will be kind. This is a stupid move. It's a stupid move. It's a stupid thing to do. It's a huge waste of money. Like, that's, yeah. And I think pretty much everyone agrees. No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong. Mama's right. They're allocated $80 million for a trade study. $80 million is a Falcon 9 launch and a low-risk payload to the moon. It's a waste. It's a waste. It's a waste. It's just stupid. Yeah, like I said, history will not be kind no matter what happens. Hear me out. Give Texas a Crew Dragon when the program ends. Yeah. Yeah, Hokey. I've often said as a, my kind of opinion on what's going on with that whole thing is that if Houston wanted a shuttle, they should have made more. But the reality of the situation is that they did make more. I'm not gonna say anymore. If you know what I'm insinuating, good for you. I will not say it. It's so screwed up. It's just nah. But you know what I mean. If you know, and I'm not explaining it. It's just not right. Hey Everest, what's going on, man? How are you? Unpopular opinion, but Challenger and Columbia should get a memorial shuttles. There is one. They're sitting with Atlantis. Wasn't there a time when they drove a shuttle cross country? No. The only way to really move those things around, Sea Kraken, is with 747. What's your favorite shuttle? Challenger. Challenger is my favorite shuttle. Until the remains of the shuttle stashed away in a hangar. Challenger's remains are in an abandoned missile silo on the Cape, at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. Columbia is in the VAB, what's left of it. You buried your eldest brother yesterday. I'm so glad it's over now. Oh, I'm sorry, man. There is parts of them on display at the shuttle pavilion at the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. It's a very tastefully done memorial, and I love it. And I make sure that anytime I'm in the state of Florida, I go and see it, if I can help it. God damn, does that thing piss me off? In a silo. Yeah. It's very tastefully done. It's very nice. It's a great memorial to fallen astronauts. But yeah, Challenger is my favorite shuttle. Not because we lost it or anything, guys. I don't like Challenger out of some kind of sympathy for it being one of the orbiters that we lost. I like Challenger because Challenger was a step in iterative design for the shuttle program. Challenger, every single space shuttle that was built after Challenger, so Discovery, Atlantis, Endeavour, they're all based on Challenger's design. Challenger was built out of what was learned from the orbiter, STS 1 and 2, if you really want to know. It was built off of what they learned from flying Columbia, and they figured out that Columbia was overbuilt. It was way too heavy. Way too heavy. But it was overbuilt because they flew it with people on the first try, and that's why. You'd rather be overbuilt and work than be underbuilt and not work. So, meaning that it had like thicker tiles on it, it had much beefier thermal protection systems. Structurally, it was a lot heavy. There was a lot beefier structure with Columbia. It was basically, think of it like the Shuttle 1.0. Challenger is Shuttle 1.1. Way less tiles, way easier to maintain, way lighter. Discovery, Atlantis, and Endeavour are based off of its design. Challenger, in many ways, is the Falcon 9 1.1 of the shuttle program. And if you look at the first 24 missions of the shuttle program, Challenger had already flew almost half of them. So we lost Challenger in early 1986. Challenger first flew in 1983. Meaning that, and STS-51L was the 25th shuttle mission. So 24 missions prior, over the course of 2 years, Challenger had flown 10 of them. 10 missions in 2 years. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Did they retrofit Columbia? Columbia had many mitigations to make it a lot lighter, Sea Kraken. It was scheduled to be fitted to go under a huge orbiter maintenance overhaul in the early 2000s to support ISS operations, and it was scheduled to do that after STS-107. Oops. It works great when you can win the fight in one swing, but you don't have the stamina for a slugfest. Yeah, Aqualex, that explains a lot, dude. I'm just worried about numbers if we get into a near-peer adversarial hot conflict. Numbers. You cut the head off a snake, 4 grow back. So Challenger was version 2? Challenger was... So if you guys look at Falcon 9, there's Falcon 9 1.0, which worked. It was pretty good. And then there was Falcon 9 1.1. All subsequent versions of Falcon 9, from 1.1 all the way up to Falcon 9 Block 5, the workhorse that you see flying now, is based off of the 1.1 design. There's just been, marginal upgrades over time. Challenger to the shuttle program is the same thing. It was a new, lighter, way simpler thermal protection system than Columbia, more capable orbiter that could be turned around faster. Seriously, fellas, look. Dude, look at the turnarounds here. So Challenger's first flight was April 4th, 1983. Okay? And we lost it on January 28th, 1986. I hate looking at it. Dude, look. Look at the turnaround. Look at the turnaround times. April 1983, June 1983, August 1983. 3 missions. Look at that. 2-month turnaround on a frigging space shuttle. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, interesting point, Aqualex. Once again, I'm an archer. There's people that know way more about it than I do. I just want to see battleships. Check this out. February, April, October. 3 more missions. Look, 3 more missions in 85. It was scheduled for 5 missions in 86, if I'm remembering right. Yeah, if you take out the mission durations, it's even shorter. Don't let anybody ever tell you that the shuttle was a bad design. It wasn't. The people running it were idiots. Shuttle's a great design, and this empirical evidence shows this. If they'd just figured out that stupid SRV problem, we'd be fine. And that's what pisses me off about this, because, yeah, Challenger is a beast. Look at that, dude. Look at that. From April to 83, January to 86. It's about 3 years. It did 10 missions. That's bananas. That's more than Dragon right now. Like in that same marginal time period. That's crazy. That's crazy that we're even comparing it to Dragon. Or Dragon is compared to it. I don't know. But considering the complexity of the space shuttle. But like, the space shuttle was not an easy vehicle to engineer. And that's, like I said, that's what I mean about that damn thing. People could say, you know, the mainstream opinion is that this is a dud. It's not. It's not a dud. It's a damn good design. The people running it were dumb. And I think we're far enough of the gate out that I could say that and not piss anybody off. Programmatically, the shuttle is a failure. The design is ace. The design is fantastic. The orbiter is just superior design. Like, dude, I don't know if we could do better if we tried to do the same thing nowadays. Hey, Def. I'm good, man. How are you? How's your travels in your line of work? You fixed your problems from earlier? Which ones, Warhammer? The computer problems? That's all fixed. Yep. So modernized space shuttle project, 20 shuttles launching 14 times a week. The service assist lunar economy tray, that would be very useful. That's all I'm saying. Hey, you know, they get this up in depth. Good, man. That's good. I'll DM you on Discord later. It's a whole story. Well, okay. Give me the cliff notes. Good, bad, chicken, Challenger. What's the translunar injection payload for an STS? Please hold. I can get you that information. I know you're making a joke, Will, but 4.5 tons TLI. Yeah, 4.5 tons. STS would have 0 TLI payload. False. Hey, you didn't ask if it was theoretical or not. You just asked if it had any TLI capability out of the box. Yes, it did. They just never did it. There was a Centaur upper stage option for the space shuttle that they ended up never doing because it's too dangerous. And they it's called Centaur G. It is a very, very unique designed dual engine Centaur that's designed to be launched from a shuttle's payload bay. Fun sister, you're playing KSP. I have parallax installed, so the surface of the moon has a lot of interesting terrain scatters. I had a mission to find the collectible moon rock on the moon's surface. A damn needle in a haystack. Yeah, fun with that. Could a Saturn V actually launch a manned-Mars mission? R2, yeah, sure. A flyby, sure. You'd need multiple Saturn Vs if you wanted to get to the Martian surface. Yeah, Centaur G. Look at that. Look at that damn thing. The damn thing at 4.5 ton throw to the moon, that's fine. Now, 4.5 tons TLI is not a lot. Oh, they built it, by the way. Yeah, they built it. Sorry, I forgot to mention that part. Yeah, they built it. And it was going to launch the Ulysses probe, a probe that was built. They built the stupid thing. and then they never launched it because it's too dangerous. Yeah, it's sitting out in a field somewhere. Still around. It's in decent condition, considering. Yes. So that thing could do 4.5 tons TLI. What they're not telling, what they won't tell you is that, well, I mean, I think that was for Centaur G, not Prime. Centaur G, there's two versions of it. There's Centaur G and then the Centaur G Prime. No, that is Prime. That was going to launch the Ulysses probe. This could do Geo, that can go to the moon. What they won't tell you though, or what they didn't say, is that you could take this, launch this into space, right? And then another shuttle could come up and attach its payload. So you could theoretically launch a bigger Centaur. You could take Centaur G Prime and stretch it to fill up the shuttle's entire bay, right? And then you could increase throw to like 10 tons. And I'll tell you, you know what would be really good with that architecture? 10-ton throw, translunar injection, Gateway. Gateway would be good architecture with the space shuttle. The shuttle could build Gateway in low Earth orbit, and then you could attach a Centaur to it, and then you could shoot it out at the moon. I wonder where they got the idea. The other way around, it reduces boil off that way. Yeah, dude. Yes, sure. Yeah. The shuttle could shoot stuff out to the moon. It could also do it with the IUS, but the IUS is terrible. So. Yeah, Aqualix. They had a whole roadmap built out for the space transportation system, guys. We only built 2 parts out of it. What the space transportation system, what the space shuttle was designed to do is stuff like that. That's what we theorized it as. Not just building a shuttle, but using a shuttle to build out a cislunar economic powerhouse. Yeah, 1.5 Aqualix. That's a good point. That Centaur G eventually would have turned into Nerva G. Nuclear tugs could give you a very easy shuttle to and from the moon. Yep, that's what the shuttle was supposed to be. And then NASA went at President Nixon, with this idea, and he said, space station, space shuttle, nuclear shuttle, space tug. No. Just build the space shuttle. We'll figure out what it does later. Yeah, just build something. We'll figure out what we want it to do later. Sounds like SLS. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. It's weird. It's funny. I know that's yeah, you know that. This is fine. It's fine. It's not fine. I hate it. Aqualux, this is just gonna make me feel worse. Dude, look at this stuff. Okay, so here. Let me put it to you like this. You could use this to make some really awesome architecture in Kerbal if you built a space shuttle. Wink, wink. Yeah, Centaur G was only the start. And then we didn't do that because it's too dangerous. It's too that looks a lot like Centaur G. That's weird. Huh. Yeah, Centaur G was only part of it, dudes. Yeah. They wanted to put crew modules on top of it and then make it into a lander. I forgot about that part, Aqualex. Now I'm just even more annoyed. Damn it. Mission mode idea. Do the STS program right. In mission mode, that would probably just be regular career mode. Who knows? Maybe we'll get one in our career mode. Can I steal this idea and make this architecture in KSP? Sure. Check this out. Look, saddle tanks. And if anybody thinks this is too crazy, the shuttle could do this. The shuttle could absolutely do this. You could build this. Shuttle could build whatever. It has the robotic arm with inverse kinematics. It can make whatever it wants. We could do this. We could have done this for 30 years. We just didn't. Boil off. Note that the tanks are inside of a shielded structure. Important note. Smart. Real smart. Check last link. I don't want to. You're being a stick in the mud. I don't like you right now. Oh, no. What? No. What is this? What is this? You interrupted my nostalgic shuttle glasses for this? Bro, it's a flying pancake. What the hell are you going to do with that? I hate that thing. I don't want your damn lemons. What the hell am I supposed to do with these?
Discovery, go
Hey, oh
and
no, what's up, man? 63-month resub. Make breakfast, of course. Oh, yeah. What even is that? That was another shuttle concept, if I'm remembering right. Mega Maid's cleaning pads. Oh. We could do it, dude. We could do it. Like, this is doable. I mean, Starship could do stuff like this too, for what it's worth, but I don't think SpaceX has any intention on operating it like a space shuttle. So, I mean, it's possible. That'd be really nice. Even more cursed. Yeah, so next time somebody says, you know, the shuttle's a piece of junk, bro, you have no idea what you're talking about. Nah, you have no idea what you're talking. What the hell is this? I yeah, no, I'm good. Yeah, no, see Kraken, we don't need that ever. Star Wars helmet inspiration. What's up, Rocket Guy? Weather Guy, okay, so what's up? Hypothetically, what's to stop SpaceX after Starship gets operational? What's to keep them from building their own Leo Bond villain style station? I don't think they will. I think SpaceX think in their concept of operations, in their ConOps for Starship, Weather Guy, they don't. It's kind of a paradigm shift from how it's a paradigm shift from how NASA thinks about stuff. So NASA's like, okay, we have our rockets, then we have a station, right? You have your space station, right? And then you have a space station around the moon, and then you're at your destination, right? Like there's the ISS, there's Gateway, or well, there's the idea of Gateway. SpaceX doesn't think about that like that. If I'm understanding their systems engineering correctly, they don't think about that. They think that Starship is an airplane. And the second you understand that, right, it makes a little bit more sense. Meaning that we wouldn't like have a C5 take off, right, and then rendezvous with a bigger airplane and then transfer payload to it, right, and then come back down. It's not the shuttle. That's what the shuttle's designed to do. Right? You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that with C5. No. You just C5 would just fly to its destination. SpaceX thinks of space as the wild blue yonder, so to speak. Nice, King. Is Gateway still in the plans? Yeah. Until about a week ago, you believed in Dream Chaser supremacy. What? Yeah, what a crock of crap that was. Right? Point to point, etc., etc. Yeah, they're thinking about it like an airplane. So I don't think that they would build a Bond villain super space station in Leo. They would build a Bond villain base on Mars, if you really want my honest opinion. I missed something about Dream Chaser. NASA washed themselves of Dream Chaser contracts, Shrub. This is why space operations needs to be run like a Navy, not an Air Force. Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah. Yeah, it's all right. Mind drive, it's all good. It's all good. Okay, that's fair. Either way, though, is there anything the government, whoever, could do to prevent them? I mean, technically they could. They'd be stupid, though, if they... I mean, SpaceX launches Starship, which is ITAR, right, from the U.S. They can't launch it anywhere else. And even then, Uncle Sam would have the final say, because at the end of the day, Starship is missile tech, whether you like it or not. It's stupid that it has to be that way, but it has to be that way. So they could technically say, SpaceX could go do a Mars mission. They could be like, no. I think they would be stupid to do that. But, yeah, they could. I don't think they would. You don't own space. NASA does. NASA. People that launch stuff. Maybe you heard of them. NASA. Hearts of Iron After Hours. I don't know, dude. I gotta get up early in the morning and I gotta get that stupid fusion working. Not the fusion technology, my stupid car. Could you go over them tweets on the orbit that you linked before? Okay. What do you want to know? All right. I want to look at this. I don't know what this post is. I'm just going to look at this. Is that a... Is that a moon cycler? That's a moon cycler. Cool. Or a two-body cycler. That's cool. Neat. So this looks to be a somewhat what's called a sorry. That's a big motor. It's a big block. That is. So this is a two-body resonant style orbit. So it's something that basically goes back and forth between the Earth and the Moon, or at least cislunar. Yeah, it's definitely a truck. It's basically something that stably pops out to the Moon every once in a while. Let's see. What if a spacecraft could cycle between the Earth and Moon orbits, performing multiple circuits of each naturally and indefinitely with zero propulsion? Yep. We've discovered a new class of stable, prograde, low-energy cycler orbits that do just that. Why these orbits matter? It's ballistic. Yep, stable, so it's resonant. That's good. Resonant means it'll just stay like that. For reference, in Kerbal, every orbit is resonant unless you're below 70 kilometers on Kerbin or 40 kilometers on Duna, and I'm not sure what Lathes is, or Eve, I forget. Low energy, access to the Earth, Moon, Lagrangian points, Sun, Earth, L1, L2, even Helio. Cool. Probably metastable, requires station keeping. Yeah, most likely. It's not new, it's this applied locally. Interplanetary transport network. Gravitationally determined pathways through the solar system that require very little energy for an object to follow. Yep. This isn't just a flyby cycler, it's a three-body simulation where a small object alternatively enters orbit around each massive body, a true moon orbiter. Interesting. Some clarifications. This is one orbit, not two. Just shown in two reference frames. Yep. Using the inertial frame fixed to the stars, a rotating frame as if the camera were orbiting around the Earth-Moon system at the Moon's orbit rate. Yep. Oh, that's wild. This type of orbit is a ballistic capture. That's super cool. You could do that in Kerbal. You can ballistically capture the Moon. Well, no, you cannot do that in Kerbal. You can get close, but it's using lunar precession to capture, which is smart. That's super cool. Yeah, you'd need Principia to do something like that. But yeah, you could do something similar to this in KSP. With some station keeping, you could do it. And what you're seeing in the rotation frame is known as a manifold, the gravitational bounds that bound its motion. Yep. That's super cool that it ends up being a five-sided star with ballistic capture at the 5th point. Rocket guy. That's super cool. Yeah, man. How stuff moves through space is all math. It's all math and physics, dude. It forms really, really cool geometric patterns if you're looking at it from the right frame. How close to the Earth and the Moon that would get? It looks like perigee. So perigee is over here. That's a medium eccentric Earth orbit. So that's probably geostationary. Actually, that's beyond geo. Geo's like over here somewhere. It's just an eccentric orbit, but it's an eccentric orbit with, it says perigee. It says perigee raising encounter right there, but a better way to explain it would be that the highest point in the orbit intersects the Moon's grav well just enough for the Moon to pull it in. Sorry if this is a stupid question. Why doesn't SpaceX assemble an Aldrin cycler? There's really no point in doing that. I mean, you could, Lemon, you could do that with Starship, but they won't. They're just going to send. Why do a cycler? They'll go direct to Mars. That's their whole idea. Did they do something similar with Europa and Falcon Heavy since SLS? Yeah. Well, that was just a grav assist. That's not something like this. Yeah, okay, so the moon is raising the perigee, the orbit. So from the perigee raising encounter, it just, see how it starts bouncing off the moon? Whoop! It's the last 2 frames over here. That one and that one. And so from there, it'll just keep doing that probably for probably for another entire revolution. See, 1, 2, 3, and then it'll, oh man, that's cool, dude. So the grav assist from the moon puts it into an orbit that's just below, or a slightly eccentric orbit with the apogee higher than the moon and perigee basically at lunar altitude, right? And then it bounces off. It has 2 encounters, resonant encounters there. And then the second grav assist changes your ejection angle to an inward ejection angle, which puts you right back into the same orbit that you started with, which is, that's bananas that actually works.
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
That's actually super cool. What's super cool about this is that it dumps you right back into the same orbit. And it can basically do that indefinitely. That's really neat, actually. So it intercepts the moon every 3 lunar orbits. So let's take a look. The moon starts here. So that's 1 month, give or take. Moon encounter after a month, 2 encounters, 3 encounters, 2 months, 3 months. So I would, if I'm looking at that right, it looks to be about 4 times a year out to the moon. Pretty smart. That's pretty cool. Who found this orbit? This is from Shane Ross, an engineering math professor at Virginia Tech Aerospace. Cool. Guy has a PhD from Caltech in physics and engineering. Yeah, you know what? You know what, Gully? That's a good follow from me. That's cool. That is pretty neat. I will like this. Yeah, Caden, 4 times a year is what I'm looking at here. So we would only be able to launch it, do it like every 3 to 4 months. Yeah. Wait. At the AAS AIA Astrodynamics Specialist Conference in Boston next week. I'll present on a new family of ballistic Earth-Moon cycler orbits. When is this? I probably won't go, but that's pretty cool. Are you an AIA member? Nope. Get a media badge through NSF? I'll have to go ask Das. Who knows? But yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, something like that could be useful for like propellant depot transfers and stuff. But so, yeah. Okay, so here's why this is useful. All right, look, what you can basically do with this is to get a rocket, if you're launching on a high energy orbit, a high energy trajectory going out to the moon, meaning something like the Apollo missions, you're going to need a really big frigging rocket to do it, right? You need something that can shoot something out to the moon in 3 days, and then you need a stage out there that's big enough to circularize, like a surface propulsion system or the Orion Command Service the Apollo Command Service Module, excuse me. Now, with this, what you could do with this is, this is a very high orbit, so if you could launch something like once or twice a week, you could get something up to this orbit, and it could just be at this orbit. You only need to send something to here, instead of sending it all the way to the moon and stepping on the brakes, right? You send it to that orbit. That orbit is going to require less delta V. It will still require delta V, but it will require less, right? So you could theoretically use smaller rockets for lunar exploration. So that means eventually, you launch something, you launch a rocket, and then you rendezvous with this thing, whatever this vehicle, right? Whatever it is, right? When it comes back around again, the moon is going to pull it in. When it pulls it in, it basically gives you a free capture to the moon. Like everybody knows, if you've played Kerbal at all, you know what a free return trajectory is. This is a free capture. You could do this with cargo. Anything that's not time expedient to get to the moon, this would be quite useful. Now, personally, if you want my honest opinion, and
Discovery, go at throttle up.
This is very much my opinion. This is EJ's opinion. There are people out there that know way more about this than me, and they're probably right. I'm probably wrong. Just build a bigger rocket and launch it more. The Delta V here is not that. It's not that much more to get something to the moon. If time isn't a thing, you could do this way, but why not just use O-berth and just boost over time, and just do a ballistic lunar transfer from there? The biggest benefit of this is to put your transfer facilities on this, the same as a cycler. You still have to boost and break yourself in all your cargo, but you don't need to send up the living space. Yeah, I understand. It allows for more mass, but this only really makes sense if you have a really up and working operation on the moon, guys. Something that requires long duration stays on the moon that needs constant resupply. In which case, then it makes sense. But you have to build that base out. And how are you going to build that base out? You're going to build that base out with a bunch of big rockets like Starship or SLS or whatever, or New Glenn, right? In which case, you built a vehicle that can do high energy transfers to the moon already. So why build this? I'm sorry, it's just some deductive reasoning there on my part. I wonder how this compares to the orbit the Japanese lander took, which took a few months to get to the moon and then captured on a ballistic insertion. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Rocket Guy. Why do this over a ballistic lunar transfer? That would be my big question to that dude. And once again, dude, I know good and well that there are people here that know way more about this than I do, you included. I'm not trying to be like, that's dumb, why would you do that? If this architecture is good for supporting lunar operations, not going to. Usage of ion engines. Why are you so obsessed with motors that my desk fan makes more thrust than? That is cool, goalie. Did we use your fan then? In space, a fan which uses air to make thrust. I don't think that's a good idea, Ivan. I mean, free entry into low lunar, so no high thrust needed for insertion. Rocket Guy, not sure, not 100% sure resupply makes sense either, since the cycler orbit is way above Geo, so your resupply rocket has to get it there above Geo anyway. That's what I'm saying, dude. That resident orbit that it's in is more than Geo. Why? The delta V that it's going to take to put it in that orbit, you could have just launched it to the moon and circularized. Am I wrong? Like, or you'd have to optimize around some type of high delta V transfer vehicle. Lunar Base Synthesis Study, Volume 3. You missed this. What did I miss? Oh, this was this when we were talking about STS. Where are the pictures? I like looking at the pictures. Moon train! Moon train! What the hell's going on up here? Oh, that's a telescope. Oh, thank God. That's a telescope. It's all right. So the thing that I'm getting at with that architecture, guys, is that you need to that orbit is really cool, but your entire lunar exploration needs to be built around that orbit, that resonant orbit. You need to build stuff that's specific to be able to do that. We are also building an architecture for lunar exploration that is specifically centered around getting things to a rectilinear halo orbit. How's that working out? We'll get there sometime soon, I think. Rectally. I don't want to use that architecture. Uh, uh, uh. Woo, baby, the inning got away from the Yankees at 6-1. Oh. Well, this is a thing that exists. Oh, dude, Lunar Garage. Yeah, I'm kind of about that life. That's pretty cool. Lunar Garage, Lunar Train. Dude, this is the kind of stuff we need to be thinking about. Opelix, like, this is the kind of stuff we got to be thinking about right now. Trains and stationeers. Yeah, absolutely. I'm reading it. Give me a second. I'm not reading it. I was kidding. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like it. It's good stuff, man. Bleh. Yeah, dude. It's the kind of stuff we should be thinking about now if we're serious about not just putting flags and footprints on the moon. Just saying. He was saying it was a joke, so we don't think he's a real synth. Lunar cranes, I'm sold. Sold. Lunar Is that a lunar drone? It is. Okay. Yep, sold. Ion engines suck, Sea Kraken. Stop pretending like they don't. They're awful for you in the applications of human spaceflight. Awful. Why you booing me? I'm right. Oh, that's... Who said human spaceflight? I did. That's the topic of discussion, fella. Oh, look. A space shuttle. Gee, that would be nice. Lunar cranes and KSP? I did that in 2018, dude. It's a great PDF. I'm going to read this later. You know what? Let's download this. Rockwell Moon Padiff. Yep, that's fine. All right, guys. Well, that was kind of a poo-poo due to caca poo-poo space news. Yeah, that's homework for later for reasons. Don't worry about it. It's fine. You make one of those shuttles. They look like they have something. There's something useful to have. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll do something. I got some ideas for the career mode save, Ivan. I think you might like them. The Rotato was just one of them. Starbase Live is good ambient sound for playing Summer Car. Yes. What, me? Worry? Anyway, guys, I'll see you guys back here at noontime tomorrow for no after hours tonight. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow for KSP. I gotta get up early, guys. I gotta get up early and fix my Breeze daily. I gotta do that. It's broken. I need to fix it. Every day that it sits there not working is not good for your boy. Not good for your boy. Picking up what I'm laying down. The Yankees pulled their starter and have gone to the pen in the fourth of every inning in this game. Dude, who was starting tonight? Yeah, whatever. I'll go see the fiasco over there in a second. All right. Have a good night, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow at noontime. More KSP. We'll get back to career mode. I like the Rotato stuff, but we'll work on it some other time. We'll get back to the career mode tomorrow and go from there. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good night, everybody. Thank you. I'll see you later. Good night.